Hey everyone. Welcome to Thursday's Soul Gravity Energy Forecast. My name is Kasha Rashfal, and I'm a coach, healer, and mentor and numerologist to spiritual entrepreneurs who are ready to be famous for the work they do in the world. Today's broadcast is a little bit delayed because today's 9-day energy has already been fast at work. Let's talk about 9-day energy. It's an energy of disruption, and it's also an energy of completion. And I just had some things to deal with this morning that I didn't want to bring on the live air with me, and wanted to work through before I talked about this energy, because sometimes when we're in the middle of something, especially something emotional, it's difficult to communicate right clearly, and that's kind of what happened with me this morning, having a really tough conversation with someone in my life, and that's kind of what this energy is about today. When I pulled the forecast cards, it's all about the energy of expression and communication. So let's look at the layers. So we've got universal 9-day today, meaning the energy is inviting us to express. Not nines aren't necessarily about expression, but the 9 is inviting us to complete and finish up whatever feels unfinished, whatever feels still sort of the loose ends, right? There's loose ends. The month of August is influenced by the number 3, which is all about expression. And so we've got this beautiful intersection today of energy that is inviting us to express, especially with respect to relationships. Is there a relationship or a project or something in your life where or someone in your life where you feel you're carrying around an emotion like resentment or sadness or hurt or something that is simmering under the surface, and you may not even necessarily be conscious of it, but think about how when you interact in the circle in any when you have an interaction, sorry, I'm still like trying to find my words here. When you have an interaction with this person, or you are, putting energy towards this project that is the one that needs to come to an end, how does it make you feel? How do you react or respond emotionally? Is there a charge of any kind? Hey, Maria, good to see you, my friend. Is there a charge of any kind on that situation or on that person? Is it because they're behaving a certain way? Probably, right? Or is it because this project is going a certain way that may not be the way you want it? But if you turn the mirror back on yourself and you only focus on your own emotion, whatever it is, right? Don't make the emotion wrong. Take a look at it. What is it really trying to tell you? This morning when I was having this difficult conversation, I felt a lot of anger, and I sat with it, and I allowed it to just be in my body, and it was hard, and I realized that underneath that anger was a lot of hurt. And so then I sat with that. I practice Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian process of forgiveness. There's a couple different ways you can do it, and so that's the process I did with myself, and it took a few minutes. Sometimes these emotions take time first to completely bubble up in our body, and then for us to be able to process them. Now, if you look at the science behind emotion, they say an emotion typically only lasts 90 seconds. If it's really intense and we just allow it to simmer in our body, it will only last 90 seconds. What makes that emotion feel like it lasts a lot longer is when our mind gets involved and it starts nattering at us and reminding us of all the times we felt that emotion in the past. And so this is where we have the choice to either engage with our mind and listen to the stories it tells us, or refocus back on the body and sit with that anger and feel that hurt or feel that frustration, whatever it is. And so that's what I did. That's why this broadcast is a little bit delayed this morning. When you get to the other side of an emotion, you feel relief in your body. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get to this place of absolute bliss or even happiness or joy. You might simply feel a little bit better than hurt, or a little bit better than angry, right? So this is like a little bit of a ladder or a staircase where you're not going to get from anger to bliss. It doesn't work that way. The frequencies are too far apart, but we can climb slowly, one step at a time. And so where I ended up was sadness, and I'm okay with sadness. Like it's okay. I'm still sort of sitting in it, but it's not. It's mild, right? And then I know from sadness I can feel compassion coming in. And I'm okay with compassion, right? Compassion is this beautiful energy of non-attachment to whatever is, but an overwhelming love for what is, an overwhelming okayness with what is. So working with emotion is one of the pillars of the work that I do with people. It's one of the things that really started me on my journey. Learning how to master emotion is one of the, I believe it's a life skill. It's a life skill, like you could say swimming is a life skill, or cooking is a life skill, right? It's one of those things that when you know how to handle an emotion in yourself, you can face anything. Yes, you still feel fear. Yes, you'll still get angry in the future. And that will be okay, because you know that you will be okay through that situation. So today's energy, 9, is inviting us to express emotion with kindness, with love, with compassion, especially for ourselves and for the other person. So if you do have someone in your life where you need to have a hard conversation with them, get yourself into a place of love and kindness as much as you can before you have it, because then it's so much easier to say the words with the intention of understanding versus blaming, right? That again is such a key piece to it. We have the potential today to tie up a lot of loose ends. The energy may show up as disruptive. You may feel a little bit like, especially I think we still have a little bit of that full moon energy influencing us. And so I don't know much about full moons. I don't know what we called this full moon that happened on the 3rd. But I can tell you it was like a pot stirrer. It stirred the pot, at least for me and for some of my friends that I've chatted with. We had a lot of big shit come up. So I love it when that happens. As frustrating as it is to be dealing with some of these emotions, you're like, I've done this before. Why again? Well, because it's another layer, and it's okay, right? It's okay. So I invite you to take this head on today, because we've got this potential to land into so much compassion and so much self-mastery. So let's do this, right? You got this. It's you totally got this. And if you need support, please reach out. Oh, good, Maria, you're saying you did too, right? Like all the dredges from the bottom of the pot like floated up to the top, and guess what? We got to deal with it. So it's good. We got this, right? This is what life is all about, partly, right? We have the great joys, and sometimes we have this shitstorm of emotion that happens, and right, that's being human. So we're going to embrace all of it. We're going to march forward. We're going to hold space for each other. If you need help, please reach out. Let me know what's happening for you. I would love to chat with you. Other than that, gosh, I've talked for 9 minutes. Okay, time to wrap this up. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow morning. And again, if you need anything, please let me know. Talk to you later.